Hi, lovelies. Welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back to Glow Wings. Hi, my beautiful fays. Hi, my beautiful people. This is a safe space to feel, to heal, to grow, and to glow. So, hi, it's always so lovely when you guys come back. I consider a lot of you guys my friends. I consider you guys my community. So it's always like, OMG, they do like me. They do care about me. Today, I just genuinely want you to see yourself with kinder eyes. I feel like especially for me, I used to be so critical of my looks. I used to hate the way I looked, and honestly, I still feel that way sometimes. So if this is you right now, I 100% get it. A lot of us have body dysmorphia, especially with today's day and age, social media, and just constantly critiquing your looks, constantly looking down on yourself, thinking everyone else is pretty except for you. But what if the only thing that's keeping you from peace is the way you see yourself? The problem isn't that you're not enough. The problem is that you're judging yourself too harshly. And I always say this, but a lot of you wouldn't speak to yourself the way you speak to your friends, okay? The things that I hear some of you tell yourself, like, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, I'm so ugly, oh, like, I'm not this, I'm not enough. You would never say that to a friend, okay? So whenever you want to speak to yourself, or whenever you want to look at yourself, I need you to use kinder eyes. I need to use a softer tone in the way you're talking to yourself, because the brain doesn't know what's real versus what's fake. So every time you're telling yourself, I'm so stupid, I'm so ugly, I'm so this, I'm so that, guess what? Your brain thinks it's true. It's like, okay, well, she said I'm stupid, so maybe I am stupid. Well, she said I'm ugly, so maybe I am ugly. So you have to understand that the way you speak to yourself, okay, coming from your fairy guide, the way you speak to yourself, the way you look at yourself matters a lot. And those who are religious, I think there's a verse in the Bible that says, if, your eyes is causing you to sin, like, you want to get rid of it or whatever, which not in the literal terms, or maybe they did mean it in the literal terms, but I always come back to that, and I'm like, if my eyes are telling me that I am ugly, then I need to rework that entire situation there. So I think that should be how you apply that to yourself too. If someone around you or you is telling you that you're ugly, we need to have a healing discussion, okay? I feel like somewhere along the line, a lot of us have learned to see ourselves with the most critical eyes. You notice things that, like, you tell someone else and they're gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? Like, you're like, oh, I'm sure you don't notice like this huge freckle on my face, or you don't notice this, how my eyes are like wide apart. And the person just thought you were genuinely beautiful. They're just like, okay, well, I didn't notice that, but now that you mention, I guess, so that's why speaking to yourself does matter, and seeing yourself with kinder eyes does matter, because you teach people how to treat you, and you teach people what to see when they see you. So if you go up to someone and you're already like, insecure, you're not looking at them, you don't want them to really notice you, they're gonna look at you like, why is she so intimidated? Like, what about her is weird? And they already think you look gorgeous, but it's now you're teaching them how to treat you or how to see you. So it's so important to have kinder eyes for yourself. And seeing yourself with kind eyes does not mean ignoring growth, okay? It's not about saying what's wrong with me right now, but telling yourself, what do I need right now? And those are two different things, okay? Because when you look at yourself and you're like, what's wrong with me? I feel like you're actively looking for what is wrong with you. And wherever you're looking, the brain is going to give you answers, okay? The brain is always looking for ways to give you answers. So if you're looking at your nose a little too long and you're like, I think my nose is pretty ugly. Now your brain has found an answer. Now your brain's going to give you that feedback, like, okay, her nose is ugly. And you're going to go around telling people like, my nose is ugly. And then people never even noticed you had, like, they never even saw what you see, but now they do. And we're taught that self-criticism keeps us sharp, but I feel like shame doesn't create change, safety does. When you feel safe within yourself, you genuinely take healthier risks. You recover faster, and you don't easily shut down on people. And so now let's talk about how to start seeing yourself differently, okay? And the first thing I'm going to tell you is it starts very small, okay? It starts with the tone you use to talk to yourself. which is, you know, the little things, the tone you're talking to yourself in, the way you look at yourself in the mirror, the things you say to yourself every morning, your daily affirmation. I want you to always think about what you're telling yourself, okay? If you wouldn't say that to your best friend, if you wouldn't abandon your best friend when they needed you the most, if you wouldn't say that to your best friend, if you wouldn't say that to your mom, hell, take a picture of yourself when you were younger. If you wouldn't say that to that little kid, then I don't need you saying it to yourself at this moment. If you wouldn't tell your best friend, don't you dare tell yourself. And whenever you catch self-judgment, I need you to ask yourself, what would the kinder me say? If I was the kinder version of me, how would I approach this situation? And you don't even have to believe it at first, but you just have to practice it, okay? And with more practice, then you start to master it, okay? And there's a popular saying, you have to fake it till you make it, which is, I believe, 100% true. You have to keep doing it, keep practicing it, and boom, you're gonna be, you know, kumbaya, okay? Because over time, that voice becomes familiar and it eventually becomes yours. And when you start seeing yourself with kind eyes, you stop fighting who you are and start seeing who you're becoming. Healing speeds up, confidence becomes steady, and peace becomes accessible. And it's not because life changed, but it's because the way you see yourself did. And if this resonated, I want you to take a moment today and speak to yourself with kindness, even if it's just once. Let it be a thing that you practice over time, until that becomes a familiar voice in your head, until the only thing you can say to yourself is just positive affirmations. And it's important because you create your reality, okay? The things you say to yourself matters. You deserve to be seen, especially by yourself. Okay, so please let me know what you think in the comments. I always do appreciate the feedback. And if you want more reflections like this and you want to join the glowing community, you're more than welcome. Just subscribe and I shall see you in the next video. Don't forget to let the glow guide you. Bye, honeys.